Hi guys, welcome to Basement Supercar Build, the channel where we see if an average guy like me can design and build his own mid-engine car. This video will be a highlights video of the work that was finished this week. If you want to see the actual work take place, watch the full-length video for this week. And with that out of the way, let's get started on this week's video.
Well, I am back. Had a week and a half off from working on the car. I had a business trip / vacation had to go on, and we're back. We're going to start working on the car again. And the first thing we're going to do this morning, I guess, is remove the door hinge. I've already started taking the door panel itself off, or the fake door panel. I'm going to remove the door hinge, and we're going to start grinding these braces here away. Make room to put the hinge in the correct place. But that's the first thing we'll do. We'll grind those two braces off of both sides of the car and get those places ready to mount the hinge in the correct place, so we can drill the holes in that tube and have the hinges bolt in place. I don't have the correct bolts. I'll have to order those, but we can go ahead and get everything lined up and drill the holes and get everything ready for the bolts. And I guess let's go ahead and get started on that. Well, I have both of these gussets removed. Wasn't too bad of a job. A lot of grinding, but ground the welds down to where they're pretty smooth. I need to get a finer sandpaper disc to go on my grinder and blend those in a little bit better. That was a pretty coarse disc. I think it was 220 or something. You can see the marks. But get some finer abrasive discs and blend that in. It'll look good. And I moved the hinge down to close to where it goes. I'll have to open my solid files and get an exact measurement, but it should be just above this weld bead here. That's where I meant for it to be. And then the door will close just above the line here and give me room for the carbon fiber tub and the carbon fiber door skins. Should be about, I think it's a 1/2 inch gap or so in there for all that material. That's close to where it goes. I'll measure and get an exact location, start drilling holes soon. Also, in the last video I told you that this bar here was supposed to be adjustable, and this was just a temporary bar. While I was on vacation, my parts came in. This is the metal tube that I'll cut and make for that adjustable bar, and these are the 4 ends. These steel pieces weld to the tube, and then there's an adjustable rod end with a lock nut, and there are left and right hand threads here, so it's easy to adjust in and out to get the exact location I need it to be. And I think that's what I'm going to do next. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this rod and get the exact length and weld these ends in, get these pieces made so I have the hinge set up correctly before I start locating it precisely and drilling the holes to mount it. I also need to weld this on. I had it tack welded in a couple of spots here, and I was prying on the door just before leaving on vacation, trying to see exactly how solid it was going to be, and I popped those welds loose, so I need to weld that back on. I'll have to get the exact rotation alignment and then weld it permanently. But that gives us a few things to do. I'm going to go ahead and start on these adjustable rods. Well, I have the hinges drilled and some bolts stuck in the hole part of the way, at least. To mount it here, I'm going to have to order the correct hardware, correct length bolts, and then I can fasten this up securely. And once it's secure, I can start taking some measurements off of different things I need. Also started cutting some of the door rails. These are, I'm cutting them down to 1x3s, and they will get cut and put together. This is one end. This is the end where the hinge attaches. You can kind of see the holes, and I've got some pieces cut for clearance. And this is roughly the shape of the door, most of it. The top pieces here may change. They may have to be angled inward just a little, so I'm going to probably leave at least one or if not both of those off. And I can go ahead and weld up all the bottom pieces, and once the hinge is completely mounted to the door secure, I can drill and mount this door using a spacer between the door and the door seal to make sure everything is aligned correctly. Once the door is finished and mounted, then I can start worrying about the back plate where the lock, the striker plate and the lock mechanism attaches. Need to order those, though I don't have them yet. And I have some measurements written down here, some angles and dimensions for this door. But I guess I'm going to stop for today. I made some good progress today, and we'll pick back up tomorrow working on this door and try to get the pieces cut and maybe start welding it together. Well, I have all of the door pieces cut that I know how to cut right now. There'll be more pieces later, but I've got to purchase the door latch mechanism, the window tracks, the window, I have the windows, but the tracks and all of the parts that accompany the tracks to work. So I'll know exactly where the windows fit inside this door frame, and I can continue finishing up the frame. But you can see the pieces here. I have this steel bracket laying here. This is where it will bolt to the door. And just showing you here the pieces. There will be pieces that span across the top, but I need to see if the glass is closer to the inside of the frame or outside of the frame. Pretty sure it's going to be the inside. Before I put the cross pieces on here and like a bar for a crash resistance, I think it'll weld to the outside also, but I want to see how that window interacts with this frame first before I make and weld those pieces in. But I believe all of these pieces are ready to weld together and make a frame. I need to make a couple of fixtures to hold pieces at the right angles, and we can start tack welding this frame together. Well, the door frame is welded together. To overlook my messy table, I can barely work on it. It's terrible, but I'll clean it up eventually. This is what the frame looks like, and this is the part that attaches to the door hinge, and it'll bolt in these 4 locations here. I have to measure and get the exact location and then drill the holes and transfer those into the aluminum, but that is very close to where it goes. And you can see how it attaches in 4 different locations there to make it as solid as possible. And then that piece will get welded here on the end of this gear and shaft where I had it spot welded at one time, but it broke off. And I need to go ahead and order some hardware to mount that hinge permanently. And then I need to replace this with the adjustable bar. I welded those 2 rods together here, but my welds were a little hot and penetrated into the threaded insert on the inside, and I'm going to have to take and put these in a lathe, run a drill bit and a tap back through them to clean up the threads. I can't get the rod ends to screw in quite far enough, so I will also have to order some taps. They are 1/4-28, both left and right hand threads, and I don't have those, so I'll get those ordered tonight or tomorrow also. And once I get those adjustable rods, I can mount this hinge up permanent and adjust those rods to get this gear set here at the correct angle. It's off just a hair. And once this hinge is parallel with this door side, and then this gear and shaft here are 90 degrees with the hinge, then all that'll be lined up perfect, and I can start aligning the door to the opening and then weld it to this gear. But made a lot of progress. Not sure the door frame is permanent, but pretty sure the lower half is. I may have to cut off some of the top half or even bring it back here towards welded and adjust the angle, but maybe not. It may be okay as is, but we will see in the near future. And I'm happy with the progress we made today, and we'll start on something else new tomorrow.